Hello there, and welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to talk to you about watch bracelets. And watch bracelets are just something you put with your watch and you don't think much about it. But there are actually a lot of nuances that affect the wearability and the comfort of a watch with a bracelet. So today I have two watch bracelets here. One is this J style bracelet, and I have an O style bracelet. So because of pattern reasons, I cannot spell out the exact name of the bracelets, but if you are even remotely familiar with watch brands, then you would know exactly the type of bracelets I'm talking about. So let's get started. I will be using this J style bracelet as an example. We'll first be looking at the different parts of the bracelet. First, you have the end link, which is something over here. This is the part that connects to the head of the watch. And then you have the individual links over here. Now, some of the links here are removable, as you can see here. There is a screw, a very tiny screw over here that you can use a very fine screwdriver to remove and reattach links with, and that's how you adjust the length of the bracelet. And then you have the clasp. The clasp is a mechanism that allows you, the wearer, to put on the bracelet. This particular clasp is a flip-lock deploying clasp. How you wear it? You simply flip it open, push the two buttons over here, and then that's how you open the clasp. And this type of clasp is also called a milled clasp because it's made from milled metal, and it's substantially better than the pressed clasp, which you can see sometimes on vintage bracelets. And then finally, the other side of the bracelet, you have exactly the same things. You have a few removable links with the screws and the end link to connect to the other end of the watch. You can see it's exactly the same construction with an old style bracelet. You have the end link, the removable link here. These ones aren't removable. You have the flip lock deploying clasp. This one is slightly different because it's slightly larger. And over here you have also some removable links, some non-removable links, and an end link. Now, when we talk about end links, there are basically two types of end links. This particular one is a male end link. It's called male because this part of the link juts out. If you see where my toothpick is pointing to, it juts out to connect to the first piece of another link. Now compare this with a female end link. So this is another watch that I have. It's a Seiko and it has a female end link. For convenience reason, I'm not going to take the bracelet apart because it will be a hassle to put it back on. But if you see here, this part of the end link doesn't jut out. Now, end links can also be differentiated between hollow end links and solid end links. Here on this vintage Tech Heuer I have, it has a hollow end link, as you can see over here. It's basically just a sheet of folded metal. It's very common on vintage bracelet and it's kind of flimsy. So For these kind of bracelets, it's very easy for the bracelet to be stretched out and be very comfortable, and you can wear it for an extended period of time without feeling any discomfort. But the drawback is relatively flimsy and it's not that durable. Now compare this with a solid Endlink. You can see here the Endlink is made from one solid piece of metal, so this won't be bent whatsoever however you wear your watch. So this is considerably sturdier and more robust. Moving on to the individual links, this is where the difference between a J-style bracelet and an O-style bracelet comes from. For a J-style bracelet, you can see there are 5 pieces for each link. There's here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 pieces that constructs into one single link. And for an O-style bracelet, there are only 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. For links, they can also be differentiated between hollow and solid links. For this bracelet, which comes from Strap Code, I believe, it's of a higher quality, so it's made of solid links. You can see the link over here, it's completely solid. If you peek through the hole here, you can also see the mid link, which is the link between the 2 links, is also solid. This is solid. We can now move on to the most essential part of the bracelet, the clasp. So as I said, this is a milled clasp because this piece of metal is made from milled stainless steel. Whereas you might come across older bracelets like this one, like this Tag Heuer bracelet, which has a clasp that is made of pressed metal. This is very thin and very flimsy, so for modern watches you are most likely to come across clasp made of milled steel instead, and this looks much sturdier and much more reliable. You also have micro adjustment holes over here. You can simply use a spring bar tool with its pointy end and push the pins to the different slots to give you fine adjustments to the length of the bracelet, so that you don't need to take out links or add additional links to make sure it wraps around your wrist. Clasps also come in various sizes. So the one I have here, which is of a slightly thicker one, I don't really like this clasp. It is relatively thick and doesn't really match the thickness of the links. Compared to the clasp over here, I think this clasp matches much better with the links because the thickness is comparatively similar. So when you purchase a bracelet, many people neglected the fact that the thickness of the clasp also plays an important role in determining the look and comfort of a bracelet. And lastly, I'd like to talk about the taper of a bracelet. As you can see here, the end link side is slightly thicker than the side that is closest to the clasp. This is because of tapering. When a bracelet is tapered, it wears much more comfortably on the wrist because a tapered bracelet wraps around your wrist much better, and it doesn't look as chunky as a non-tapered bracelet. I prefer my bracelets all to be tapered for that particular reason. I guess that's it. This is all I knew about bracelets, and that's all I'd like to share for today. Thank you for watching.